and welcome to Washington Unplugged. I'm Nancy Cordes, and I am very lucky today. This is a career highlight. I'm being joined by Daniel Dae Kim, the star of Hawaii Five-0 and Lost. Daniel, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. It's a very kind introduction.
What brings you to our fair city from Hawaii? It has to be something good.
Yeah, it was actually good. I was here for the correspondence dinner last week, and you know, I had some meetings in town with some organizations that I've been wanting to meet for a while. So, yeah, it's been Mr. Kim Goes to Washington.
What do you think of the correspondence dinner, or as we call it here in Washington, the Nerd Prom?
The Nerd Prom.
Did you meet anybody good?
I did. I met Cass Sunstein. We were mutual admirers, and his beautiful wife, Samantha Power. Mm-hmm. And, they were fantastic. I met a lot of actors that, I've probably met more actors in D.C. than I do in L.A.
It was quite a turnout.
It really was. But they were great, and it was nice to kind of hang out. And kind of, it's a little bit odd, but really interesting when the worlds of politics and show business kind of intersect the way that they do here.
And you picked a fascinating week to be in Washington. I heard you took a tour of the White House this week, right?
Not so much a tour, but I did get a chance to see Marine One land yesterday, and watch the president take his little stroll.
Right.
Little stroll, that's not really quite the way to put it, is it?
He was, commandingly walking
he was.
to or from the helicopter.
Yes, with ease and grace, might I add.
Right. Now, congratulations on the huge success of Hawaii Five-0. I've heard in the last couple of days that it might be on track to be $1 billion franchise, which has to be good news.
Yeah, no, that's definitely good news. I'm sure for the network, they're very pleased, and Mr. Moonves seems to think so he would know better than most.
Yeah, thanks for helping us out. You play Detective Chin Ho Kelly on the show. He's a former MPD detective who was wrongly accused of corruption, although now he's saying, well, maybe I did it after all. Is that what's going on? Are you just covering for your uncle, or what's up?
Yeah, I am covering for my uncle, and I think he's someone who really believes in family, and or as they say in Hawaii, ohana, and he's taken the fall for his uncle, and that's what's being established right now. Whether he gets caught for it, we'll see.
Now, I have to tell you that I'm from Hawaii, and my first job was actually covering the crime beat in Honolulu.
Oh, really?
And nothing like this ever happened in Hawaii. I mean, basically, the biggest crime news there was the surfboards getting stolen.
Right.
But it seems like there's a huge underbelly, underworld of crime in your Hawaii.
That's one of the first things that people, said when the show first came on the air. Like, since when is Hawaii so dangerous?
No, it's just seething with criminals.
Exactly.
But that's the way it was in the original Hawaii Five-0.
That's true,
right?
That's true.
We've got a lot of fans here just in the newsroom. Lois, who sits right over there, wanted to know, how do you feel about getting money from the gangster? How's that all going to turn out?
Oh, well, that's a really good question. She must watch pretty...
Yep.
Hi, Lois. How are you? Good to see you again.
Did I ask you right, Lois?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, good.
How do I feel about it? I feel like he's in a bind. He's got to do what he has to do. He's not breaking the law.
Okay.
Or is he?
Nothing's ever what it seems on this show, right?
Right.
Andy, who's also sitting over there, he had a complaint. He said that he's very troubled by the fact that the show is not like the original.
Oh, troubled by that
Yes.
fact? Oh, well, there always is the original.
Right.
There are DVDs. And
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if Leave It to Beaver was made again, it wouldn't be like the original either, right? Yeah, a few decades have passed.
Yeah, no, I think time has passed. I think television sensibilities have changed, and and what we expect from our entertainment has changed a little bit. I like the old Hawaii Five-0 as well, so now we have both.
Yeah, and they've tried to remake Hawaii Five-0 before. In fact, I was an extra in a pilot for Hawaii Five-0 back in 1997. It was starring Gary Busey.
Right, and Russell Wong.
Yep.
Sure.
And apparently I didn't do a good job because it only lasted one episode or something.
It must have been all your fault, I'm sure.
That's probably what it was. I was not convincing as a reporter.
Well, you seem to have landed on your feet.
Oh, thank you so much. I picked myself back up from that failure. Now, as we all know, Lost was one of the best shows ever.
Oh, thanks.
And I totally geeked out on that show. I have to admit, I was on the blogs and I was on the the message boards and the theories. I don't know what happened to me. I just got totally sucked in. It's embarrassing, but it's true. But things seem to take a turn in the 5th and 6th season where suddenly they were supposed to start answering questions, but they couldn't stop themselves from asking more questions.
Yeah, it might have been like an addiction or something.
Right.
No, it's true. I mean, once we knew we were going to end the show, the creators and the writers all had the daunting task of trying to put it all together. And so I give them a lot of credit for doing what they were able to do, you know, and not many shows are able to determine when they go off the air and plan for it.
But you must still have a lot of unanswered questions yourself, like what did the numbers mean, and you know, why can't women on the island have babies? And I mean, there was a lot of
There were,
stuff.
but most of those questions were answered, and you know, my feeling is the thing I cared about the most were the characters, and I felt like the way they ended the show was satisfying in that regard.
Well, your relationship with Sun on the show was one of the highlights of the show, although it was troubling when she wanted to die with you on the submarine, because then what would have happened to your baby?
Well, it's a fair question, you know, but he promised he would never leave his wife again.
Right, that's true.
He kept his promise.
Well, they had a special bond. Do you ever speak Korean anymore now that you're done with the show?
Every once in a while, but it's all for pleasure, never for work.
Really? Who, do you keep in touch with anyone from the show?
I do. I keep in touch with Josh Holloway, who plays Sawyer. I keep in touch with Harold Perrineau, who played Michael. And Henry Ian Cusick, who plays Desmond, is actually still in Hawaii, so we hang out once in a while.
Who lands 2 shows in a row in Hawaii? I mean, do you feel like you've won some kind of karmic jackpot?
Well put. I actually do feel very lucky because I wanted to keep my family in Hawaii, and I was looking for an opportunity to do that. I was thinking about commuting to and from LA while my family stayed in Hawaii, and thanks to Hawaii Five-0, I don't have to.
You love it there?
I do love Hawaii. You know.
It's a special place.
Yeah.
I miss it all the time. Now, you actually spent some time at the State Department while you were here, right? What were you doing?
I did. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, okay. You were actually involved, right, in the planning? That's why you're here in Washington.
Team 6.
Okay, yeah. SEAL Team 6.
I wish I could. Take
Another show, perhaps?
Yeah, that's right. The spin-off. Actually, that wouldn't. I'm sure that. Anyway, I'm sure that's already happening. So.
Right.
No. I was just meeting with some. I have a good friend in the State Department, and I was just talking. We were talking about opportunities for me to kind of help out in whatever way that I can.
As a sort of spokesperson or ambassador or that kind of thing?
Yeah, something along those lines. So you know, I'm interested in what goes on in the country, and I like Washington. So if there's something that's a fit, then maybe we'll work something.
That's cool. Do you feel like you're sort of removed? I mean, one of the things that a lot of people in Hawaii feel is that they're so far away from Washington that everything that's going on here, all the craziness, can just seem like it's another world and doesn't affect them in any way.
No, I think that's really right on. Like a lot of people I find in Hawaii feel like the island is their world, and you know, I happen to be just very. I like to stay on top of current events and things.
Right.
So.
Well, you're from the East Coast originally, right? I mean, you were born in South Korea, but you grew up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania and New York, so not too far from here.
What did everybody in Hawaii think of all of this birther nonsense?
I mean, I think you have a microcosm of society, you know, in Hawaii, but society at large, that is to say. But most people are fans of Obama and
proud of the hometown boy.
Absolutely, and you know, as am I. So I know a lot of people just thought it was ridiculous. But
well, it seems like the tides might be turning on that front, according to the most recent polls.
Right, that was one of the most fun parts of the correspondence dinner. Actually, is the big birth announcement. And, you know,
all the jokes about Donald Trump and all the rest.
It was fun.
Well, Daniel Dae Kim, you picked a great week to come to Washington.
I did, yeah.
Really fascinating, and we're so glad that you came here to talk to us, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you can watch all of our great interviews on Washington Unplugged. Just go to cbs.com. Thanks so much for watching.